Junk Journal July! Hey, my name is Meg, welcome back to my channel, and today we are kicking off Junk Journal July 2023. This video is also part of a collaboration with 29 other artists throughout this month, so all the details will be down below on how you can follow us throughout the month to watch as we create the prompts in this challenge. So today we are doing day one, and that is good vibes. And if you want to download the prompt list and follow along too, all that information will be in the description box down below. So I thought, what better way to start off a fresh month and a challenge with some good vibes, some good energy, and just a way to ease ourselves into our journals by thinking about what brings us joy or what brings us good vibes. So I want you to think about what is good vibes to you, and it will be different for everybody. It could be your favourite things, like your favourite movies, your favourite books, or your favourite colours, or quotes that really speak to you. Think about what good vibes means to you. So for me, two things that I wanted to focus on for this page was vintage stuff, or vintage inspired, that aesthetic, and also looking at doing some collage in this journal. So it can be a little bit scary, or not scary, but like, you get that fear of the blank page when you first start a journal and you're not quite sure how to start. You're maybe worried about doing something wrong, making a mistake, and for me, even like not feeling comfy in a journal yet. I don't know if you can relate to that, but like once you've kind of got into it and you're maybe like halfway through or towards the end of a journal, you just kind of find your groove and you find your way. But at the beginning, it's that sort of moment of not quite knowing where you're going to take things with this journal. So I think that starting off with things that you love is a really great way to set the tone for the rest of the spread. And it just means that whatever you are using on the spread you like anyway, so chances are you're going to have fun creating the spread. So I'm sticking with my muted colours. I just love those, the neutrals, earthy tones, and even that green there on the washi sticker. I love how that has still managed to show the text through on the page as well. That's one of the things I love about junk journals, is having all these different bits of papers and things sort of showing through as you're working in the journal, especially with an accordion style journal as well. So it's really fun to build up the layers and the patchworks, because the second thing that I knew I really wanted to use when it came to good vibes was collage, because collage is something that I always fall back on. I love doing little collage clusters or building up sort of background layers and texture and interest on my pages with different collage, and I love to use all sorts of different papers. So I think I've used kind of book papers here, little odds and ends. And what I decided to do to add a bit of text to this page was to bring out some little stamps here with my sepia ink, and to just stamp out good vibes. I really like the text of these. It's kind of like a bit of a faux typewriter, but I think it also just ties in with the look and feel of this page. So I just decided to cut it out here. It's on some sort of off-white, like creamish paper, which I don't quite know how to describe, but it's like the perfect shade, if that makes sense. Like, I just think it goes really, really well and complements the rest of the page, and I just think it adds a nice bold effect. Like, it kind of stands out amongst everything else that's going on in the page, because it can be not like busy because there's not much going on the page, but with all the text and the layers and things, it can be kind of hard to have a bit of a focal point. So doing something like this is a good way of adding sort of that focal point to a page. And to help build this, I also wanted to add some extra bits. So I've got some collage elements here, a little manila tag, and then also some packaging, like a brown paper bag. So at first I thought maybe I was going to use some of the text, but I decided against that. So I still kept the cutout because I thought it might come in handy for something else. But I was really loving the flowers that are on this paper bag. And I also just wanted to add some brown paper. It's one of my favourite things to use in my journal anyway, and I think it also just adds some nice contrasts, some like darker tones. So I just decided to cut out this floral element, and at first I was going to fussy cut it, but then I just decided to kind of leave it as is on the page. And I was testing out here just some different layouts of how I might want this tag to sit on the page. Obviously, given the sort of size and the way the journal folds, it needed to be vertical, and then I'm just playing around here with how I want the brown paper to sit underneath the tag, just to add some layers, so some depth and dimension to the page, and just to have it peeking through there on the left hand side was just about enough. And then there's the text on top. So I've kind of done the principles of collage where you've got your background, your middle ground and your foreground there in a very simplistic way. So the brown paper is more of a background element, you don't see all of it. The tag was very much acting as the middle ground, and then you've got that good vibes there as the foreground, as the focal element. And I really liked the way that it was sort of offset, so it wasn't completely like all on the tag, it was sort of overlapping, and I think that helped to create a bit more of an organic feel for the page, and to help it carry through and look not like it was just sort of stuck on the page. It kind of helped it to blend in and sort of seamlessly integrate into the page. And then of course, by adding this tag, it introduced then some blank space that I could work on for some journaling. But whilst I was deciding what I actually wanted to write in that space, I often turn to sort of adding little details and doing mark making while I'm deciding what I want to do next on a page. So I love these Caran d'Ache Neo colours for adding some little textured like blobs, like little marks I'm making. I've got some white charcoal here as well, which obviously rubs off the page a bit, so you can't quite see it, but it just adds like a ghosted effect that I just think is really nice. It's really subtle, but it's just those little details that I really love. And especially with this accordion journal as well, I'm not afraid to kind of go outside the confines of the page itself. So I'm going into the page on the left and the page on the right, and I think that's just a really nice way to help the cohesion throughout the pages. So it's just a really interesting way to work with this accordion journal, that you have the freedom to kind of work outside the box almost, or work outside the page, and carry the interest over onto different pages. And then, you know, you can either decide to keep those on the next page or cover them up, but it's just a really fun way to sort of not contain the creative expression almost for the page. And I'm just closing it here just to see what the actual page would look like, because I was working the whole time with it just flat there, so it's good to see what it's like flat. And then I just wanted to fold it just to get an idea of what the page would look like on its own. And I'm still debating what I wanted the text to be on the tag, so I decided to figure out how I was going to keep this prompt list within the journal. So I've just folded it in half there and just fastened with a paper clip so that I have easy access to it throughout this month when I'm creating in this journal. I was also thinking about the other detail elements that I wanted to add to this page, because I've been really enjoying it's not maximalist, but it is in a way sort of adding lots of little bits and pieces. So it's not like an overwhelming like loads of stuff on the page, but just adding those small details I've been really loving. So the mark making, and then say for example here coming in with maybe a rub-on sticker. These are by the brand MU. I get mine on miso paper, but yeah, I love these, and they just add a really nice detail as well. Such a softness to them. I really do enjoy adding these to my pages. And you know, for me, junk journals are very much a use what you have, and you know, I do like to use all of the sort of recycled stuff, so you will see me using like, you know, brown paper packaging, envelopes, things like that, things that I just find and come across. but I do like to add little embellishments as well, so forgive me, but I do love some rub-on stickers or things like that. And I think that, you know, the main thing is to just have fun with my journaling, and so this is almost like the happy medium that I've come to in terms of my junk journaling. And I think this also just added a little bit more of that green to the page, just so that it carried through from the washi sticker at the beginning. I'm adding a short quote here that says, "Grateful for small things, big things, and everything in between," which I feel kind of ties into the whole idea of good vibes that we were talking about at the beginning of this video. And the pen that I'm using, if you're interested, is just a Uniball 1P, I think it's called. They're such cute little pens, and they write beautifully, so I just decided to use that for this little journaling spot here, just to add some text. And I think that it really helps to finish off this journal page. Of course, I couldn't help myself fussing there with some little details and doodles, but that is pretty much everything that I did for this page. So I hope you enjoyed journaling along with me for day one of Junk Journal July. Don't forget, we have the collaboration going on throughout the month, so the playlist will be linked down below and you'll be able to follow along each day. The videos will go live at 6 p.m. BST on the relevant person's YouTube channel, and they'll get added to the playlist as soon as possible. So I really hope you enjoy following along and you know, journaling with some of your favorite creators, and maybe discovering some new people as well. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Share with me in the comments, or maybe tag me on Instagram what you've done for day one of this challenge, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.